call, which is good. We've done a couple of these. We do have some updates, so I'll share my screen here in a second and get going. But my name is Matt Novello. I'm an HVAC product manager here at APR. I'm in the central region and I help to manage this Heil brand. So let's get started. This won't take, I know we have an hour blocked out. This will probably only take about a half hour. So we appreciate you coming. Okay, so what we'll discuss today, we'll briefly go over what this refrigerant change is, mostly because actually I was with some customers yesterday and had some questions, so we'll just touch on a few things. We'll talk about the residential and commercial equipment lineup. We'll discuss the new connected portal for thermostats, and then we're going to discuss a live inventory update so you guys can see where we are in this transition with 410 product on the ground, what's still to come, and what's here with 454B and what's on order. So briefly, this is the reason we're going through this change is we need refrigerants that have a lower GWP, which is global warming potential. As you can see from this graph, R410A has a GWP at 2088. That's very high. Heil is going to R454B, which is a GWP of 466. It still comes up. Questions are still asked about the flammability of this refrigerant. I think this slide does a good job of showing that there really isn't concern for this stuff exploding or catching on fire. The bottom of this graph is the burning velocity in centimeters per second. On the left-hand side of this graph is the heat of combustion in BTUs per pound. So you can see 454B has a burning velocity of less than 5 centimeters a second. When compared to gasoline, they are on opposite sides of the graph, opposite sides of the chart, as we can see here. So there's really not a lot of concern of this stuff exploding or blowing up. It is slightly more flammable than 410, though, as you could see from that slide. Everything with Heil is going to start with the coil. Every coil is going to have an active dissipation system, whether it's an air handler or a cased coil for a furnace. This, if you look at this slide, that top right picture, that's actually a new V coil 454B. It shows the sensor installed. As you can see, it's hard to see, but you'll have another grommet on the cabinet of the coil for the sensor wire to come out. And then you'll basically wire all your low voltage to a control box that'll come with the V coil or the A coil. And your low voltage will go from that control box down to your furnace. Air handlers are going to have this all built in. What'll happen is if this sensor is triggered, which is of a lower flammability level of 20% or greater, it's going to cut the signal to the outdoor unit and it's going to run the fan continuously until it brings that LFL rate below 20%. And then everything will come on like normal again. Some other design changes that you'll see is straight stub outs on both outdoor units and indoor units. So no more brazing. You can obviously still braze. You can swedge your straight stub out, or you can put a coupling or some sort of coupling on it. But these will come ready to press. The filter dryers will also come ready to press. You're going to have new TXVs, obviously these new leak sensors and all the controls that come with that. Service valves will have red caps on them to mark that they are for 454B. So let's jump into the lineup. We've gone through this before, but again, I see some new faces on the call, so we'll go through this again. The N coils, the END4X coils will be going away. They won't be made for 454B. We will still have V coils and we will have A coils. The A coils are multi-position. The V coils are dedicated upflow, downflow, or dedicated multi-position for your horizontal applications. Coils, these coils that'll obviously go on furnaces will come with everything you need for 454B. So everything that you could basically have a furnace that's a couple years old that's still good and go replace the coil and the condenser with a 454B compatible system. Fan coils, kind of the same story here. Everything we were used to in 410 is transferring over to 454B. Again, these will have everything built into them needed to stay compliant. We'll still have a variable speed communicating fan coil. We'll have a two-stage variable speed fan coil, and we'll have an entry-level fan coil. One more update here is when we look at the variable speed fan coils, communicating and non-communicating, they will come as a two-piece in the 3, 4, and 5-ton sizes. That's a nice change. We've been waiting for that for a while. Multi-family coils and air handlers are, again, basically staying the same. They will just be updated to be compliant with A2Ls. We don't stock a lot of these. We order them case by case for jobs, so they are available. Bigger changes come when we get to the outdoor unit. So we'll start with air conditioners. Everything we were used to with 410 is going to transfer over to 454B. We just now have the addition of a true variable speed inverter. In the past, we had the HVA9. That was a 5-stage inverter. We now have the H5A1V coming. That is a full inverter working in 1% increments between 25 and 100% of capacity. Only 2 control wires are needed for that outdoor unit, for that new inverter. So again, that's something we've been waiting for, to have a true variable speed inverter on the ICP side, and it's coming with 454B. We still have the Performance series. We still have the Ion series. We have good, better, best options within those series. And we still have the R series. We still have the budget price point series. The other big addition is, or big change, is in the three-phase condenser lineup. We have the N4A3s currently for 3-phase, and that's going to get a SEER bump to the N5A4S, which is going to be up to 16 SEER. The old model was up to 13 SEER, so an efficiency change with the 3-phase outdoor unit. Look at this lineup for selling in the home. We have the Performance series, good, better, best option. We have 2 levels of a single stage, and then we have the N5A8T 2-stage. And in the Ion series, we have 3 options as well: good, better, best, a single stage 16 SEER, a 2-stage 18 SEER, and a full variable speed. We also now have 2 thermostats. So we have the Ion Gray thermostat for the Performance series. We have the Ion Black thermostat for the Ion series. More to come on that later in this. Looking at heat pumps, everything we had in R410A will transfer over to R454B, except for the inverter. In the past, we've had the HVH8, which was a 5-stage. We now have 2 inverter options. We have the H5H3V, which is up to 23 SEER2, and we have the H5H0V, which is up to 20 SEER2. Just like we saw with the air conditioner, these work in 1% increments in a capacity range of 20 to 100%. Only 2 control wires are needed for the outdoor unit, and we will have many more options to qualify for 25C. Looking at the 3-phase condensers, we also have a change there. We will now have the option for a 2-stage 3-phase outdoor unit. So that will be the N5H8T. Some more details on these new heat pump inverters. This is the H5H0V. So this is up to 20 SEER2. This is heating operation down to negative 11 degrees. This will work with the Ion Black thermostat. And again, this is something that can be used with that connected portal to see diagnostics. The highest end option will be this H5H3V. So this is up to 23 SEER2, heating capacity of 80% at 5 degrees outdoor. Heating operation down to negative 15 degrees. So again, we were really excited about this. This is a nice addition to the inverter offering for Heil. This will also be used with the Ion Black, and this will be something that can connect to the connected portal. Looking at the lineup for selling in the home, in the Performance series, we have a single stage option and we have a 2-stage 18 SEER option. Those will pair well with the Ion Gray. And in the Ion series, we have a single stage option, we have a 2-stage option, and again, 2 different variable speed inverter options. Those will pair well with the Ion Black. Small pack products, not a lot of change here. Everything we were used to in R410A will transfer over to R454B. We sell a ton of the manufactured housing package units, the PAJ4 and the PHJ4. Those will still be available. Those will transfer to the PAM4 and the PHM4. And everything that you need for 454B compliance is going to come with those built into the chassis. Another common unit for us is the PGD series. That's a little larger. That could be side outlet or down blast. And those are, again, going to be available in the 454B model. Not a lot of change to what you're going to see. It'll have everything built into it with the leak dissipation system and control boards. And that's a picture of an installation manual there on the left. Again, just some more information on the small pack products. Everything we have in 410 will transfer over to 454B. Looking at the commercial side, similar story. Here at APR, we move a lot of the R series light commercial products. That's the 3 through 27.5 ton product. Those will transfer over. Not a lot of changes there. The RGV, the RAV, the RHV, very common for us. You will just see a digit change. So the RGV will become an RGF, an RAV will become an RAF, and an RHV will become an RHF. The higher efficiency options will still be available as well. That's the W series we currently have been selling, the RGW, RAW, RHW. I will say that we still have 410 rooftops available. We still have some more coming in. It's case by case. Use your salesperson at APR to make sure we quote you the current option that we can get. Some of this will start to go to 454B sooner than others. And as we move into 2025, probably by this time next year, everything that we'll have and be selling will be 454B with rooftops. This slide just shows the similarities of the 410 product to the 454B. Obviously, we'll have new compressors. We'll have the dissipation systems built in. We'll have new TXVs. An example of a model number is shown here. So the RGV 036 is a very common mover for us at APR. When that goes to the 454B model, it'll be an RGF 036. An RGW 072 in 410 will transfer to an RGG 072 in 454B. If we look at commercial splits, we do have some updates here. So everything that we were used to in 410 will transfer over to 454B. We do have a couple of additional options though. Historically in the CHS heat pump outdoor unit, we had a maximum size of 20 ton. With the new CHL, we will have a 25 ton option. We'll also have hot gas reheat options on the 6 through 10 ton in the commercial splits as well. So some updates come into the commercial splits. And again, if you're going to quote something, make sure you talk to us so we quote the right product. Effective January 1st of 2025, we're going to jump around here. This is back to residential. The 25C tax credit that we've been using a lot the past couple of years is still in play, but there is an update. In the past, we had ratings that had to hit the north or the south, depending on where your installation was. If you were above or below the Mason-Dixon line for our footprint, that is going away. There is not a regional standard for heat pumps. Instead, there is a path A and a path B, and as long as you hit one of those paths, you qualify. As you can see, there is a slight efficiency bump in these pathways, so we'll probably see less single-stage product hit. It's going to be more of the two-stage and variable speed products that will hit 25C moving into 2025. The payouts, or I should say the tax credits available, haven't changed. So still $2,000 for a qualifying heat pump, still $600 for a qualifying furnace, and $600 for a qualifying air conditioner. This program is still good through 2023 as well. So more to come as, again, now that we have some new inverters with Heil, those will probably be the products that will be used to qualify for heat pumps. We touched on the ion grade before and where that can be used in your product offering. This is a new thermostat. This is something that APR now has in stock. We just brought these in. They were just available to us in about October. And again, these are Wi-Fi thermostats for your non-communicating systems. So you now have two thermostat options with Heil to use on all systems. These will use the Ion Home app just like the Ion Black. We also now have a connected portal. This is live. This is for our dealers, for installing contractors. You can sign up through the goheil.com site or through hvacpartners.com. You're going to create an account. That account creation is going to come to us here at APR, and we will approve your account and give you access. And if you're on the goheil.com site, you'll get there through dashboards and portals, and it's called the Connected Portal. This Connected Portal is going to be used for the Ion Gray and the Ion Black. And these are the 5 pillars that you'll be able to see on your Connected Portal. So performance history, you'll have a dashboard of what's happening with the system, operating status, the configuration of the system, and remote diagnostics for the Ion Black. This is a snapshot or an example of what that portal will look like. You can see your connected customers, how many controls are connected, and you'll also see opportunities. What opportunities are people who basically didn't data share with you. So you installed a system in their house, you put an Ion Gray in or an Ion Black, but they said, no, I don't want you to see the performance of my system. You'll still know kind of where they are. You connect to this portal in 3 easy steps. So you install your Wi-Fi thermostat for the homeowner, you connect it to Wi-Fi, you complete the registration, you add the controller. You'll claim yourself as the dealer because now through that HVAC Partners login, your information will come up as the installing dealer. Once the homeowner has the Ion app, home app downloaded, they will opt into data sharing with you, and that'll give you access to what's happening in their home. You'll have a lot of things that you can do. You can almost basically operate the thermostat as though you're standing in front of it. You just can't change scheduling and things like those details. You can't change the schedule for a homeowner. The Ion Black, again, you'll have some more features there because this is a Wi-Fi communicating thermostat. So if you're doing some smart zoning, you'll be able to see performance of those zones, and you'll have a little more there as far as what might be going wrong with the system. We'll get to that. This is an example of what you can see if you're looking at a homeowner schedule. So again, if maybe they got the schedule a little messy and they didn't realize that they did that, you'll be able to tell them when their, wake time is, away time, home time, sleep time. You'll be able to tell them where their set points are within their schedule. Unique to the Ion Black, this is, I think, a really, really neat option. You'll be able to see fault codes and dates. These fault codes have 3 statuses: critical, moderate, and informational. You also have a dashboard of when these faults are occurring. You can opt in to have an email sent to you when one of these fault codes goes off. You can actually tie up to 2 email addresses to this. So if maybe you and your service manager want to get those fault codes emailed to you, pushed to you, you can. If you don't want to do that, as you log in and see that homeowner's system, these will come up just like you see on this picture. This is a live picture from that dashboard. The Ion Gray is a little different because even though it's a Wi-Fi thermostat, it's not communicating. A unique feature that you'll get from the Ion Gray, time reporting. But if you were to log into an Ion Gray through your connected portal, you'll still see indoor temperature, outdoor temperature, humidity levels, what it's set to. You'll still get a good sense of what this system is doing. This is an example of the advanced configurations that you'll see. So again, it's still showing you some pretty in-depth things. Here is an example of that runtime report. This is unique to the Ion Gray. You can download these reports. This is pretty cool because you can see if a homeowner is maybe just adjusting their thermostat up and down, you'll be able to see how long it takes to satisfy that set point. If you have a 2-stage product installed, you'll be able to see how those stages are actually operating within the home and where those temperatures are landing. We touched on opportunities earlier. Opportunities are going to be those customers that don't opt in to data sharing with you right away. You'll always have the opportunity to go back and ask them if they'd like to do that. And again, this is kind of a neat feature to keep a follow-up with your customers who didn't data share. So to wrap this up, again, there's 5 pillars of things that you'll be able to see with this new connected portal, whether you're doing an Ion Black. Again, unique feature to the Ion Black is those diagnostic codes, and the Ion Gray unique feature is being able to see those runtime reports. So I want to discuss inventory a little bit, and I have a live snapshot here. You guys have. So we had discussed on this presentation before APR, we took 6 weeks past the new product's availability to make sure we had enough 410 to cover when these new products start to come in and to avoid holes. This was inventory as of this week, and I want to touch on a couple of key things here, and I wanted to show this just so our customers got a live snapshot of where we are. So we'll start with air conditioners. We'll start with the Ion series. We still have a lot of product on the ground. We still have some more 410 coming in. And as you can see, the 454B products are starting to be ordered. They're not in yet, but we'll start to fill holes with 454B as we move into probably Q1, early Q2 of next year. The Performance series, same thing. We still have a lot of 410 on the ground, starting to order 454B. Some 454B products are already in stock in the N5A5S model. One thing to note here is the N4A4S, the more price point Performance series product. Still have a lot of inventory on the ground, and we still have a lot more coming in. So that'll last us a lot longer. That's a little past the 6-week availability of the new product, but we know that a price point 410 product is going to be important as we move into next year. And same goes with the R series. R series is, again, the best price point on an air conditioner for Heil. A lot of inventory on the ground, and as you can see here, a lot more inventory on order to get us into the summer of next year. As these deplete, you can see we already have some of the new 454B model R series available or on order, not available yet. Heat pumps are a similar story. If we look at the Ion series, a lot of inventory here, some more coming, and already you can see we already have single stage H series 454B products here in inventory. The DLC series side discharge, a lot of those are still available. In the Performance series, 2-stage, still a lot of 410 available, some of the 454B on order. But if we look at the N4H5S, what we have available in 410 is the last of it. We are already starting to get the 454B models in stock. The R series, this is the price point product. Again, a lot of 410 on the ground, more 410 coming, but already starting to see the 454B models come in. Coils are a similar story. But one thing I wanted to make note of is when we looked at like the single stage N series heat pump, we already have 454B fan coils available that could match those products. So if you're using, N4H5S and we're starting to run out, know that the 454B is already here. Base point air handlers and 454B are already here. And if we look at V coils, again, we already have some 454B here. So our intention is, again, we looked at when the 454B model would come in. We gave ourselves a 6-week buffer, but some of that product is landed. And if you're going to quote something and not sure when it'll sell, just make sure you're aware that we might have to move to the new product. And that's all I had. Do we have any questions?
And you can unmute yourself to ask, or if you'd prefer to put it in the chat, that's fine too.
I just had a question about the tax credits, Matt. For Path A and Path B, do you get a different amount depending on which path you go?
No.
So what's the benefit?
Jeff, I'll let you in. I see you're
Sure.
What
Unmuted.
determines what path you go?
It's so originally when they established 25C, continued the updated one, they had a separate north and a south requirement. They decided to simplify it and give two paths. So one has a higher heating requirement, HSPF2. The other one has a higher EER2 requirement, so cooling. But they're saying, hey, if your equipment qualifies for either of these, then it's fine. It's the same amount. It's 600 for a qualified air conditioner, 2,000 for a qualified heat pump, 600 for a qualified furnace. The difference is they have increased the minimum efficiencies. So they've actually lowered the government exposure to potential claims. Because if you want it, now you even have to go really what Matt said is accurate. Pretty much multi-stage product or single stage is now out of the equation. It is now all going to be variable speed. So inverter product is the only thing that's really going to qualify. They also changed it where it had been ductless separate from unitary. That is all the same now. It's all either path A or path B. As long as you hit one of those, then you qualify for the tax credit.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions for Matt? Going once, going twice. Well, thank you, Matt, for providing the update for us. The recording we'll make available on our YouTube channel, and I'll send it out to everyone who registered and couldn't attend via email. And just keep an eye out for the next one on our website. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.
Thanks, Susie. Thanks, Jeff. Have a good one, everyone.
See you.
See ya. Thank you.